Welcome back, sports fans. We're back for segment number 2 with Yellville-Summit football coach Tommy Britt. The last segment, Mike, we were talking a lot about the upcoming season that's coming up with the Yellville-Summit Panthers. That everyone's excited. This whole north central Arkansas area is just pumped up because it's a team that's going to make a run this year. But this segment, we want to talk about something a little different, Mike.
Right. We want to know, who's Tommy Britt? Who is this man? What are some stories that you can tell us that sort of exemplify Tommy Britt, the man?
Well, I grew up in a small town, Glenwood, Arkansas. Graduated with probably 31. I mean, it was a small class, small town. Everybody knew everybody. So I kind of have this small town feel up in this area. Since then, I've gone on to play college football. I played at Arkansas Tech. I've played at Henderson State University. I've also, a lot of guys don't know, I've BMX race. I did that for 17 years.
And successfully.
Successfully, that's true. I've won 3 state championships and a national championship, and including numerous district top 10s in that time frame. And a lot of people don't realize that they always associate me with football, but didn't associate with me in any other sports or anything like that. So I was one of those. I wanted to be well-rounded. I played baseball, ran track, and one of the only sports I probably didn't do very well was basketball. But I tried my hand at it here and there, but, you know, that's just the way it goes.
Right, and you mentioned track. Maybe our listeners don't realize that we're also talking to a state championship track coach.
That's true. I've been associated with many track teams that have had multiple state champions. Not only in Paris, but as well as Cotter. I've had several state champions in high jump, pole vault, a lot of distance races, the 4x8 team at Cotter. I've had the individual 2-milers, 800s, all won state championships at multiple areas. So I've been successful and had some success with all these kids through the years, and, you know, it's blessed, and I feel like it transitioned me to who I am today and drives me to continue to get these kids doing the best that they can do.
Well, Tommy, you know, you mentioned track. Of course, we actually, you know, we're in our mobile studio tonight, and we have, you know, TVs, or we've been watching some of the Olympics together on breaks during making this segment. Usain Bolt, we just got done watching him in, you know, the semifinals, getting prepared for the finals. The explosiveness that athletes like that have. What was your favorite thing to teach in track?
It's probably my favorite is probably the pole vault. It's one of the few areas that most people know about. I try to teach myself the most, and I had a few kids, and to be lucky enough to have a few state champions in that area, and a lot of kids that have gone on to college and pole vaulted, and so it's one of those areas. I had, being at a small school coaching, you have to coach it all, but if I had to choose one particular one, the pole vault's probably one of the ones I choose.
Well, I know you mentioned being well-rounded. This year, not only are you going to be the football coach for Yellville-Summit, but also you're going to be teaching softball, or coaching softball this year as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a change for me. I haven't coached softball in a few years. I had the privilege of coaching 8 years back when I was at Dumas and started the program down there and had a lot of success with it. And this year the opportunity came up, and they asked me if I'd be willing to take on the program at Yellville-Summit, and I told them I'd be more than happy to. Being that I had some background and some success in it, I felt like I can do these young ladies some justice, and we're going to run with it.
And I'll be interested personally, you know, hopefully as an umpire, to see your girls. Maybe I'll get to umpire some of your games, and
I'd be more than happy to have you umpire a few games here and there.
Well, I will be totally fair to everybody, just so
I would expect nothing less.
Well, you are fair and balanced when it comes to umpiring, Mike.
Right. I mean, I try to be anyway.
Well, being an official myself, I understand that. I'm a state track official, so I understand about having to be impartial and all that. So
yeah, you can't worry about what the parents or anybody else says. You just gotta.
You got to separate yourself and go with what you know and go with the rules, and let what happens.
Right. And earlier, you know, in the break, we were talking about some interesting history in your family that maybe our listeners would like to hear. Maybe something about Tommy Britt that they don't know. You were talking about your grandfather.
That's true. My grandfather, there's a lot of rich tradition in football. My grandfather was the Hall of Fame in Hope, Arkansas, running back. Him and Buddy Sutton were recruited highly to Arkansas years ago, and late 1940s, early 1950s, and were successful with the Razorbacks, and he became a letterman of the Arkansas Razorbacks. You can still to this day see Buddy Sutton posters up in the, I believe, Bud Walton Arena, and my grandfather's name is still, which happens to be my name, on the Letterman's wall there at the football stadium.
Yeah,
Very
we went
cool.
to a Razorback game a few years back and actually got to go over and see that with you. That's a cool thing that our listeners might have not known about you. But, I know we're really pumped up to watch the Yellville-Summit, football team. Also, Mike, you might get to see in person the Yellville-Summit girls team. Got a lot of things going on with Coach Britt this year. We're excited to see how your teams do this year and how they develop. And Yellville-Summit is really excited for you, Coach.
And we're excited to, possibly be announcing their games this year.
Yeah, it's
not a done deal. But
we're still in negotiations, just like all the negotiations it took to finally nail Coach Tommy Britt for our season opening, to have him being our guest on here. I mean, it took a lot of negotiations to get this worked out. And, we're still in negotiations with Hometown TV, which, of course, was the same channel that we used to do the Arkansas Tornado football games. But I'll tell you what, I would love on Friday night to call some Brit ball.
Friday Night Lights.
I'd love to have y'all there calling it. The more guys we have that are associated with the program calling our games, the better I believe it would be.
Well, Coach, we're real excited for you. Anything that we can ever help you with, just let us know. We're so glad to have you on here. Maybe later in the year we can do, a couple interviews at some games or even after some games. And, we'd love to keep visiting with you and keeping tabs of this team. Really excited to watch you guys. It's going to be a great year in Yellville.
Good luck.
I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate what y'all do.